Give me 13 minutes and I'll turn you into a recruiting machine. My name's Fraser Brooks, and if you don't know me, I help network marketers from all over the world build their business using social media. And today I want to share with you how you can be a recruiting machine and finally create the leverage that you need inside of your network marketing business. So the first thing, and this is one thing that doesn't get taught enough, is something called a hit list. Now, a hit list, I don't want you to think that I'm like some sort of hitman or serial killer or murderer, but in your business, a lot of people, they get told to write a list of like 100 to 200 people. And they spend so much time overthinking the people that they put on their list. And instead, just write down a list of 20 people that you are closest to, like your family, your friends, the people you went to school with, your best friend, the person you would go watch the football with. Just write down those 20 people. If that's a struggle to do that, then you're either overthinking it or you need to start networking. So with the hit list, what you're going to do is you're going to spend the majority of your energy engaging in those people. Now, if you're starting in network marketing, your goal is to invite those people just to catch up. Now, you probably catch up with these people every day on WhatsApp or by text, or maybe you're calling them, maybe you're having lunch with them every single day because you go to work with them or school with them or whatever that might be. But your goal is with the 20 people is to continually connect with them until you can get a moment in time where you flippantly ask them like, hey, by the way, I've got involved in this business, or by the way, I've got involved using this new product system. Now's not the right time, but if I send you a video like later on, would you watch it and give me your feedback? So it's not like a formal thing where you're going to get sweaty and itchy. It's just by the way. If you can use by the way and make it a little bit more casual so that you continue the conversation in the environment that you're in, you're going to have significantly better results. Now, let's say you're not new and you've already gone through your warm market. Then at the first of every month, I want you to sit down and write a list of 20 people who you would love to have in your business. Now, this doesn't mean like I want Tony Robbins and I would love to have had Zig Ziglar in my team and Oprah Winfrey, she would be ideal. It doesn't mean that. What I mean is like you're going to find micro influencers or people who haven't joined your business yet, or maybe people of influence that you know of, whether it's online or offline. And every day you're going to spend 20 minutes with these 20 people by just engaging with their stories, engaging with their posts on social media. Now, you might be thinking, but what if they don't post? Then they're probably not the people that you want on your social media hit list. They might be people that you have on an offline hit list. And by focusing your energy, you can create massive momentum. I often say that focus everywhere creates momentum nowhere. So your goal is to have 20 people, you focus 20 minutes a day or less, it'll probably be less. And you'll find that in a 30-day period, in a month to month, there will be moments of magic that come and you're like, oh, thank you, Lord, because they mentioned something of pain. They mentioned something of significance. They mention a holiday that they went on and they've just come back and they've got the holiday blues. They talk about something that you know would help them. Not in all 20, but maybe 3, 4, 5 of them. That gives you the opportunity to open the door to see if they would like to have a conversation with you. And that's how you utilize the hit list. Number 2 is learn the power of simple daily conversations. Too many people fail in network marketing because they feel like they have to invite people, they have to do presentations with people, they have to do meaningful things every single second of every single day. But if you just focus on simple, step-by-step, daily conversations, you're going to win because you're going to build the relationship and the trust. Now, again, 2 types of people. People who are just starting and they've got their warm list. You don't need to have simple daily conversations with those people because you've already done it. But once you're not new to the business and you've gone through your warm market, you have to constantly grow a new list of warm contacts. So what is a warm contact? Well, a warm contact is simply someone who knows you and you know them. So let's think about it. Let's say I'm on social media, let's say Instagram, and I come across Mary. And Mary doesn't know who I am, but I now know who Mary is because I've come across her profile. I see that she's got a story active and she's talking about her dog. So I message saying like, hey, cool dog. Like, is that a chow chow? Right? I've got a multiple, right? Like, how are they with kids? Right? It might feel weird to do, but if you're not prepared to do the weird thing, you ain't going to get the weird results. The weird results by strangers joining you. It feels weird that will happen, but it's possible. So I reach out. Mary then ignores me. nothing gained, nothing lost, right? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So what if she replies, well, now I know Mary, she knows me. Now we're warm. But the majority of people are going to join you when you're a hot contact, meaning either or of you have something where they go, I trust this person. So over time, we're going to deepen the relationship by having daily conversations. It can be with the same people. It can be with a large number of people. But what I would say is the more people you're having conversations with, chances are the shallower the conversation. Whereas if you, again, pick 20, 30, 40 people in a month to focus a deep conversation with, something is going to come up. And you don't need tens and hundreds of people to want to know more about your product and the business. You just need consistent flow of maybe 2, 3, 4, or 5 every single week, which is just one a day. So number 1 is having a hit list. Number 2 is having and understanding the power of simple daily conversations. Number 3, know the stories. Now, there are a bunch of different stories you can have, but usually you want stories about the people involved in the business, the products that you're using in the business, the process of the business, and the power of the compensation plan. The 4 Ps, right? The people, the products, the process, and the pay plan. So let's say you have a friend, Bob, right? I'm using Bob, I'm using Mary, I'm a simple guy. So let's say we've got Bob, and Bob has a story. Know the story enough that you can tell the story yourself, right? You're going to have your own story. You're going to have stories from around you, and you're going to have stories that you hear through other people. Those are just the 3 levels of stories. It doesn't mean one's better than the other. It just means that if it's your story, you're probably more confident in saying it. If it's someone nearer to you, you're probably confident enough to share with it, but not most confident. And if it's a story that you hear once, maybe you need to go and find out a little bit more details so that you get the confidence to share it. But there are always 3 levels. So know Bob's story so that you can share it in your conversations. Hey, you sound like my friend Bob. Bob recently used a product that I've been using and has had this result. Would you like to hear more about Bob's story? Again, very casual, very conversational, nothing formal. You don't have to have a suit and tie on to be able to invite someone to be able to become a world-class recruiter. Now, what about the process? So you've got one about people. Maybe you've got one about the process. The process could be like a system. So, hey, I don't know if you're like me, but I love following step-by-step processes to get a result. If I shared with you our step-by-step process to make money on social media, you'd be interested to have a look, right? So then it's having a story about the process. How has the process helped you? And if the process hasn't helped you, don't tell that story yet, until you one day get that story about the process. The third one is then the products, right? Get a product story. If you've got a story about Bob, a person, you've got a story about the system, which is the process. Now you need a story about the product, how the product has helped you lose weight or get better energy or look younger or move faster or feel sharper or travel more for less or get more intelligent with your finances. Know the story and use it wisely in the messenger or in a conversation. All the stories. Network marketers are just storytellers. They're storytellers, they're problem solvers, and that's it. They connect with people, they tell stories, they solve problems. That is all you need to do. And the last one is the compensation plan. When you, again, have a story about your own success that you've made, or you have the success of someone around you, or you hear of a story of success from someone on stage, those are the stories that you need to know and use in order for you to be able to leverage and have better conversations. You don't need an unbelievable $1 million a year story in order for it to have power. In fact, what you've been able to accomplish in a 7-day period is usually enough. I call it the 7-day rolling story. So in 7 days, if you make $322 might not sound like a lot to a lot of people, but in 7 days as an additional income, it can be a game changer. It could be the difference from someone putting food on the table or not. It could be the difference to a woman wanting to go to the salon without having to ask her partner, like for money, which is crazy that that's still going on in the world right now, right? It could be the difference between you saying yes to that holiday with your friends and no. It could be the difference between you having zero money to pay on your credit card or $200 of just interest on your credit card, like just for an example. So it doesn't have to be a huge story. It just has to be a powerful 7-day run. So if you don't have that 7-day story yet, work on it because it will help you become a better recruiter because you'll get the confidence, you'll want to tell more people your story, and you'll want to improve that story because the better that story gets, the better the results you're going to get. Point number 4 is master a very short curiosity message. This is something that you're going to be able to use to transition the conversation from basic chit chat to, do you want to have a look at what I've got going on? And if it's too structured, too scripted, too formal, then it's going to feel like a sales pitch. And this is the one that I've always used. I've taught it now for 15 years. It's worked for much longer than that. So this is what I use. Hey Mary, hey Bob, whatever their name is. Not hey friend, hi dear, hey mate, hey babe, hey hun, hey chicken. Like, no, just use their first name, please. Don't use their full name like, hey Mary Jones Smith. Like, just use, hey Mary, I'm just curious. I was thinking about you earlier and I just would love to know, would you be open to checking out some information on a game-changing system to, now if you're going to lead with the product, lose weight, right? Or improve your skincare or whatever. If it's about the business, make money online. No worries if not. I just thought I would ask. So, hey Mary, just curious, I was thinking about you earlier, and would you be open to checking out some information on a game-changing system to make money online? No worries if not, I just had to ask. It can be very easy for you to say that. Now, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, there's no way I'm flipping saying that. That feels just so like not authentic for me to do, then use the idea and the concept with the framework and make it your own. So be personal. Hey, Mary, but I would say babe. Don't say babe, please don't. Imagine like trying to do $1 billion deal with Apple and calling Tim Cook, the CEO, hey babe, that's not gonna work. Anyway, hey Tim, just curious. The idea is that you're sharing like, I just needed to know, like maybe this would be for you or not. I just needed to know. I was thinking about you. I'm just curious. And then asking if they would be open. Your goal is to see who is open and who is closed. If the door to the side of me is open, I can close it. But if the door is already closed, I wouldn't go up to it, open it, to then just close it. Doesn't make sense. So your goal is to see who is open. Then you're going to say a game-changing or life-changing system. The key here is a system. You're not selling a product. You're not selling a business. You're selling a system because systems are sexy. People want to know about systems. People know that systems can bring a lot of money. It means you can work smarter, not necessarily harder for a bigger income. So instead of you going, hey, would you be open to a game-changing product? Or hey, would you be open to a game-changing business? No, it's a game-changing or life-changing system to give them the outcome, to make money, or to lose weight, or to improve your skincare. And then the last part, no worries if not, I just had to ask. Because when you're able to take something away from someone, a lot of the times people lean in because they're more curious. Like, hang on a minute, you're prepared to take it away from it, so you don't need me. It's very different to like, please, I need you to join my business so that I can succeed. Please click my link and join and buy from me so that I get a bonus commission. Like, no, that's rubbish. That's amateur. We need to be professionals. And professionals use scripts like that. Point number 5, you've heard this one 1,000 times, I'm sure. You've got to follow up like a pro. The fortune is not in the follow-up. The fortune's in the follow-ups. Most people will join after the 5th touch point. But here's the great thing, especially for those of you who are building on social media. Every single piece of content that is consistent with your brand message acts as a follow-up. Because remember this, longevity creates credibility. The longer someone sees you doing the same thing for, the more credibility you're going to have. If they see you talking about food and then fashion and then sports and then dogs and then travel and then this and then that, you're not going to build enough credibility to build the trust through your content. So you're going to have to rely on that, on daily conversations, daily Zoom call, weekly Zoom calls, monthly meetups in order to do that. But if you constantly talk about personal development, or food, or fashion, or travel, then you're going to build trust with that person around you knowing a thing or two about travel, which is maybe what they want to do. The second part of the follow-up is every single Friday, I call it follow-up Fridays, have a list of maybe 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people, depending on how active you are. The beginning part of your Friday is just checking in with people. So let's say it's customers. Hey, just checking in to seeing how you're getting on with the product. Let's say it's frontline team members. Hey, just checking in. How was your week? Let's say it's prospects, right? People who have already seen the presentation. Hey, checking in. How are you getting on with your, whatever their desire was in the conversation that you had? Now, let's say it's people that you haven't invited yet. Hey, just checking in. How's your week going? Right? It just get obsessed with continuing the conversation. In fact, it's one of the core habits that I believe in. It's what I call continuational conversation, where you're just getting used to continuing a conversation. Even if someone said no, even if someone ignored you, just get really good at continuing a conversation. And point number 6 here here is shift your mindset from becoming like scared of rejection to enjoying getting the rejection. Now, this feels really, really weird, but what I used to do when I got any rejection, someone called it a pyramid scheme or a scam, those things don't work, people like you won't win at that, you don't look good enough, you sound weird. I had this crazy thing that because I'm from a place called Liverpool, right? And in the UK, some people seem to think that people in Liverpool rob your car, rob your house. It's just a stereotype, right? For those of you who don't know about Liverpool, then you wouldn't have thought that, but some people in the UK would assume this. I thought that I wouldn't win because I have a Scouse accent. It's not so like crazy now because I've traveled a lot over the years, but like I thought I would lose because people wouldn't trust me because of the sound of my voice. So what I used to do is anytime I got some rejection or objection is I would just do a little dance. It sounds weird, but it was a little dance like this because it was impossible for me not to smile and dance at the same time until I eventually realized, hang on, the more no's and the more rejection I get, the stronger my character, and the stronger my character, the bigger the income. I want you to imagine that there's like 4 boxes. We've got yes and no. Well, yes builds the money and builds the income, but no builds the character, but the character is what builds the income. And I would rather have a bigger character and the bigger income than just the big income because it will just go up and down, up and down. I don't want a yo-yo income. I want a long-term, steady, incrementally increased income. That's what I want. So I want you to shift your mindset from instead of every time you get a no, oh, this isn't going to work, it's hang on, every no I get is going to get me closer to the yes. And the last point is just a bonus point, is get world class at qualifying and identifying. Jim Rohn used to say that identification is one of the keys and one of the big skills to success in network marketing. And for some reason, it got lost. Maybe he said it once or twice in a few videos, but it just got lost. And if you can identify the right people to move forward with, you will crush it. You will recruit like crazy and your business will go up and thrive as a result. What does this mean for you? It means you got to get good at qualifying. The harder you qualify, the easier the close. So let's say I reach out to 10 people today, right now, and I say, hey, just curious, would you be open? Would you be open? Boom, 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 boom. And 8 of the 10 people say yes. Now, depending on the level of content that you've got, the consistency in your content, how much conversation and rapport building and trust you have will determine how many of those 10 would say yes. It might be 0, it might be 1, it might be 5. It could eventually be 8, 9. If you do 10 out of 10, then I'd be impressed, right? But let's say 8 of them say yes. A lot of people then just go, there you go, there's a link. And they expect the tool to do the selling for them. Well, here's the thing, especially online, the online presentation is just the information for you to be able to continue the conversation. I know that sounds really weird, but all the online presentation is a presentation to give the information for you to continue the conversation. But for some reason, you think once you've sent the link to the presentation, that's it. They've got all the information they need to make a decision because maybe you saw an offline version of that presentation and you joined at the presentation, so you assume that everyone else will do the same thing. But maybe you were invited by someone you know. Maybe the presentation was a bit longer. Maybe because it was in someone's home or in a hotel, or it was more professional, then you got the result. Offline, the presentation gives enough information to make the conversion. Or the conversation comes straight after the presentation because you sat next to the person who introduced you. So what you need to do is when someone says, yes, I'm open, you need to ask why. Why are you open to making more money? Why do you want to make money online? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to improve your skincare? Why do you want to travel the world more for less? Why do you want to get better with your finances? Just ask a question. Why? Before I send the information over to you, I want to make sure that we're not both wasting our time. Why do you want to make money from this business? Why do you want to make extra money? Why do you want to lose weight? Whatever that might be. Now, of the 8, maybe 5 of them reply and 3 of them ignore you. Well, if they ignored you then, they wouldn't even have watched the video in the first place, and they definitely would have ignored you after the video. But if those 5 say, because I'm sick and tired of the job, now, to begin with, you can now send the presentation. And what do you do when you follow up? You follow up based on the reason why they wanted more information. So do you see this as a fit for you to get out of that job you don't like? Do you see this as a fit for you to be able to lose the weight that you want to lose? So now it becomes a conversational based follow-up instead of, so what did you like best? Like, hey, what, like, I'm just following up with you. Like, do you want to join now? And then you don't want to follow up too soon because you feel too keen. You don't want to wait too long because then people have forgotten about you. But when it's conversational, it's much more casual. It's much more easy and it doesn't feel silly. So If you've got value from any of this, then I would love to invite you to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you don't miss if the next video is coming up, because this channel is all dedicated to help people like you in network marketing build their business for free. And just by being a subscriber, you're going to get notified as well by all the different stuff that we do to help you grow your skills in all aspects of network marketing, not just recruiting. All right. So I appreciate you. I'll see you soon.